Okay, friends, let me show you how to make some placemats and napkins. All right, so I have fabric. It is flannel from Joann Fabrics. Look at how pretty. What I'm going to do is open up my fabric, and you see it's called a selvage. It's just the yucky part of the end of the fabric. We're going to cut that off of each of our pieces of fabric on both sides. It comes on both ends. Here we have, it is all cut off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to straighten it out as best as I can. It's better if you get smaller pieces, like 1 yard increments, but I think I have 2 yards here and it's a little cumbersome, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. All right, so I'm going to spread out my fabric, and then I am going to add some cotton batting. This is just like I can't even remember the brand. It's just cotton batting. You could use fiberfill, the quilt batting if you wanted as well. I prefer cotton for mine. And all I'm doing is spreading that out on my fabric and making sure that the bottom fabric is wrinkle free and then the batting on top is wrinkle free. Then I'm going to add my second fabric. So we're making like a sandwich. So the bottom fabric is pretty side down. Then we have our batting, and then the top fabric is pretty side up. Okay. Again, we're making a little bit of a placemat sandwich. It's fine. Anyway, so I put them together and then I make sure to clip one end just so that it doesn't pull and kind of get all cattywampus. We don't want that. So I'm just clipping it. These clips, by the way, I got from Amazon. You can get them from Michael's or Walmart or whatever, but man, I'm surprised at how expensive they are when you get them in the store. Amazon is dirt cheap, but anyways. So then I'm just going to spread out that top fabric. Again, same process that we did with the others. We're just spreading it out to make sure that it is nice and flat. Then I'm going to measure the size of my placemat. My placemat, I'm doing 12 by 16. You could do it whatever size. And this is the hardest part of this whole thing because I do it the lazy way. I cut out the 12 by 16. I get one, and then I use that one. I put clips all around it, and then I use that one as my template to cut out the other 3. Is it lazy? Perhaps. Is it maybe more efficient? I think so. Would never call myself lazy. Anyway, so here we have it, and we have our fabric is still sandwiched and flat and all of the things, not wrinkled. So I'm just adding that placemat on top of it, and I'm cutting it out. Do as many placemats as you want. I'm doing 4. I actually am doing way more than that. But for my Thanksgiving table, I wanted to make sure that I have many, and I don't mind that they are not all going to match. But for this one, I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do the placemats. So here they are. I have them all cut out. Look at how pretty. I just love this fabric. It is so pretty. Now, while we still have our fabric out, we're going to take that batting out and we're going to put our 2 fabrics together pretty side out. And I'm going to do my napkins as well. I'm going to do the same process, except this one, I'm going to measure 16-inch squares. And I'm doing the same thing I did before, though. I'm just cutting that out, and I'm going to use that as my template to cut out the others. Now, these ones, I'm only going to do 2 piles because I only need 4 to match our placemats. But again, do as many napkins as you see fit. Easy peasy. This fabric was on sale, so I wasn't too mad about making lots of them. But again, here you see I am just putting that set that we just cut out. I'm using that as a template to cut out the others. And the way that I'm going to show you how to do these is this is the reason why you don't have to be exact or perfect. I love fabric projects that don't require me to be perfect because I always mess it up and then I get discouraged and I wind up not doing anything. So I do ones that are easy and forgiving. So here we have our 16 by 16 inch piece. And then I sewed it about a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Then I'm going to go around and I'm going to pull little strings out. Now I originally started doing this where I'm just pulling some of the edging out so that it frays. If you don't like the distressed frayed kind of thing, you probably won't like this project, but stay with me because I don't know, maybe I'll tell you something you didn't know, or maybe I'll entertain you. I don't know. Anyways, so originally I started by just pulling out some of the fabric on, just to kind of make it fray. And let me just tell you, this was mind numbing. I was like, what have I done? Why did I even start this? Like, I love my family and I want to do pretty things for Thanksgiving because, Thanksgiving's my jam. But I was like, oh, and I love the way it looks, but I was like, this is going to take forever. Again, super cool process, like the way it looks at the end, but I was like, I don't know. It's not, and because it's flannel, the fibers are not super strong, so they kept breaking. So then I decided that I was going to try either, I did one of each and they both worked. I used a embroidery needle, so it's a really big needle. I used one of those. That worked. Or I have this Dollar Tree, and I'll show it to you. It's a Dollar Tree. Gosh, I'm trying to think what it is. I think you use it for like clay and stuff. It's got a really pointy end and a plastic handle. Again, I'm just showing you how to do it if you don't have any of those things. And you know what? You might like to sit in front of a TV and just pull these little pieces out. You may enjoy that. I did not. So here is that little tool I was telling you about. And all I did was I put something on my table so I didn't scratch up my table. And all I'm doing is pulling those fibers apart with this tool, and Holy Toledo worked so much better, went so much faster. Again, I am not shaming those who want to do that tedious work. God bless you. Do it to the glory of God. It just was it made me a little crazy pants. So here it is. So for those of you who need something a little bit faster, this is it. And let me just say, I love it. I love the way it looks. It's still a little tedious, and it's still, it gives you an opportunity to think about your life's choices and all the things. But I thought the edging looked really pretty. And again, this little tool was from Dollar Tree. And you see how I'm pulling out the little, they're just little strings, part of the weave of the fabric. That's all it is. And there you go. And there's the end. Look at how interesting that is, right? So pretty. And that's it. You do that on each of the sides. That's it. Each of the edges, you do that. And that's it. Right? I mean, oh my gosh. I love it. I folded it up. We've got a napkin. Ta-da! And it was just straight stitch on the inside to do that seam so that it didn't all unravel. Now here's another way you can do it. Same 3/8 inch seam allowance, go all the way around. Then I'm going to do little tiny, probably 1/2 inch little cuts all the way up to our sew edge that we did. Don't go through it, just go up to it. And we're just making little cuts. We're basically doing a little rag kind of quilt look, except the edges, it's a napkin. And at the very end, I'm just cutting out a square. So that way it looks, finished and neat and all of the things. And again, I'm doing this on each of the sides. Again, it's probably between 1/2 inch, maybe a little less than that. I didn't even measure. I'll be honest with you. I didn't measure. I was just going like, let's just see how it does. Now, the cool thing about this is when you get done with it, it's just laying flat. You can't really tell what it's going to do. So I rolled it up and I took a piece of sandpaper and I rubbed it on the sandpaper just to kind of get it even more frayed. Now, keep in mind, when you wash these, I would encourage you to put it in like a pillowcase or one of those Dollar Tree laundry bags because it'll shed a little bit of those fibers. But as you wash it, it's going to get more curly and more frayed. Look at how pretty. It's going to do this. Once you wash it, it'll keep doing this even more. And listen, if you're not into it, I apologize. But if you're into it, love, love, love. And I did this for each of the edges. I just took my little sanding block, rolled it up, took my sanding block and just rubbed it on the sanding block just to give it a little bit more of a fray kind of look. I wanted it all to kind of match with the others. Even though the others isn't this exact style, it's enough where it kind of goes with the theme, if that makes any sense. But there you go. And this sanding block, by the way, I got from Walmart. It's a Gator sanding block. It's in the automotive home improvement section. And look at, now we have another napkin. What? And you do this for as many napkins as you want for your table. But look at how pretty. And it did not cost nearly as much as it would if I were to go out and buy cloth napkins. So yay! I'm so excited. Look at how pretty that is. I love it, love it, love it. love it. Okay, so let's get back to our placemats. Here we have them again. It's a 12-inch by 16-inch. And I'm going to take my ruler, and this is a erasable gel pen. I'm going to take my big ruler, and I'm just going to go from corner to corner, and I'm going to do an X. I just need a place where I can visualize where I need to sew. If you know me, you know I can't draw a straight line, nor can I cut one, nor can I sew one. So I need these guidelines. If you don't, please continue, move forward smartly in showing off that you don't need a line. So there it is. And we're just going to go in and we're going to sew that X. And we're also going to go around the edge and do another, it's about a 3/8 inch seam allowance around the edge as well. You could do the seam allowance bigger, smaller, whatever floats your boat. It's fine. And again, I'm just doing a straight stitch. I did put some clips just to keep it steady, so it's secure. And then we're going to go and sew it. Here it is. We've sewn it. Look. Now, remember when I told you I was using an erasable gel pen? If you put heat to that, it disappears. It's disappearing ink. I know if you've been around, you've heard me talk about it before. I'm going to talk about it every single time because it just blows me away. It's so cool. All right. So then we're going to do the same process on this placemat as we did on our napkins. And it's just doing little snips. I cut that little square out of each of the corners, and then all the way down each of the edges, I do little cuts. Again, I go up to that line that we sewed, but I don't go through it. And I'm just, again, it's probably about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch wide. Then I go all the way through. And again, I'm not being exact though, because this is very country farmhouse kind of distress kind of vibe. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It, again, is very forgiving. And holy Toledo, would this not make a great gift? And there it is. Look at how fun. What? And I'm going to do the same thing with this that I did with my napkins. The only difference is when you do it with this, that cotton batting is going to really kind of fluff off on your, what do you call it? Your sanding block. Just keep that in mind. But I'm just trying to make it just a little distressed, just so it kind of rolls a little bit more. But if you wash it and dry it, it's going to start rolling all on its own. And it looks so cool. Look how pretty it is. Oh, I love it. Now, if that's not your jam, let me show you how I do one with binding. This is a 1/4 of an inch binding, and I just open it up and I sandwich my my placemat in that, and I clip it as I go. Now, if this, listen, I know heavy duty sewers are going to be watching this and they're going to cringe. Just look away. It's okay. But I have to do it how it works for me, or else it'll never get done. And as I grow and I get more time available to me, I will learn new skills. But for right now, this is how I do it. So this is how I do the corner. All I'm doing is leading up to that corner, and then I just fold it over. And see, I just make sure that it's nice and straight, and then I put a clip on it, and then we do the rest of the entire placemat. Same song, second verse, right? We're going to go all the way around. It's, it's easy, but it's not. It's not easy if you've never done this before. It's not easy if you have a hard time with direction and stuff like that, like I do. So that's why I show you multiple times how I do it. I don't know about you. I need it several times. Like, I need to be shown something like 3 times minimum. And I likely, if you tell me, oh, forget it. I forgot what you said 3 seconds after it came out of your mouth. I wish I didn't, but anyways, so the very end, I cut off the excess, I fold over the edge, and then I put that onto our binding that we had started with, and then I just put a clip on it, and then we're going to sew it, and we're going to go all the way around and just sew it. I don't know, it's just a regular, it's probably the size, the width of my presser foot, and I sew it all the way around, and there it is. And look at how pretty. This is also pretty, right? Oh, and this is the one we did with the fringed edge. Love. And holy Toledo, add the little napkins to it, and oh my gosh, I am digging it. I love it. Listen, I don't know about you, I love cloth napkins and placemats. It's my thing. But especially for holidays, I love doing new ones. So look at how pretty they are. I love them so much. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this inspires you.